Welcome, marketing chefs. I've got something truly special cooking in the Omni-Channel oven today. Star Wars Resistance Season 2 and the LEGO exclusive Star Wars Resistance sets. Up next in the Marketing Kitchen. Welcome to the kitchen, the Marketing Kitchen. Hi, I'm Ron Vining, your host of Marketing Kitchen TV. I thought I'd do a quick video to talk about the Season 2 trailer for Star Wars Resistance, as well as share with you my thoughts around Black Ace's TIE Interceptor and Von Reg's TIE Fighter. The only two Star Wars Resistance sets that we'll be getting from LEGO, and I think they may be the only ones ever. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. I'm really excited when I saw the Season 2 trailer for Star Wars Resistance. I don't know if you were a fan of Season 1 or not, and if you haven't watched it, I encourage you to do so before Season 2 starts this October. Star Wars Resistance takes place just before The Force Awakens, during the events of Force Awakens, leading into The Last Jedi, and I'm assuming that Season 2 will take place between Last Jedi leading up to Rise of Skywalker. Season 2 was a surprise in the announcement in the trailer that it would be the final season of Star Wars Resistance. But I guess, based on the events that are happening in Rise of Skywalker and where Star Wars Resistance falls in the Star Wars timeline, maybe there was no room to go further with this Season 3. Disappointed in that, because as Season 1 grew, I began to get more attached to the characters and enjoyed the story. Much similar to Star Wars Rebels, where the show started off a little bit slow, a little bit kiddish, but by the end of it, it felt like real Star Wars to me. And one of the major, I wouldn't say, criticisms anyway, of the Disney Star Wars trilogy, Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and now Rise of Skywalker, would be the fact that we didn't get a lot of backstory about the rise of the Resistance, what the New Republic was like, and how out of nowhere the First Order could have secretly been building something as large as Starkiller Base. I know the galaxy's a big place, but when you're hollowing out a planet to make a super weapon, when you're building Star Destroyers that are all on the same size as Darth Vader's Super Star Destroyer from the original trilogy, I think people might notice. The one thing that's really compelling about Star Wars Resistance is the fact that it's provided a bit of backstory. And I know there are a lot of casual Star Wars fans out there who only know Star Wars from what they see on the big screen or what they might see on TV and the big screen. So they don't read the books, they don't read the comic books. Without that sort of backstory, they go into these movies cold. And the movies are supposed to be standalone, but in the case of, say, Rogue One, I bought the audiobook for Catalyst, which was the events leading up to Rogue One. And I've got to tell you that when I watched Rogue One, having known what I knew from Catalyst, it made the film that much more compelling to me. A lot of people complained that the first act of Rogue One didn't make as much sense, or they weren't invested in the characters. Well, if you had listened to or read Catalyst, you would have been fully invested from the start. Star Wars Resistance helps in that same way in giving you a lead up to The Force Awakens, what happens leading up to Last Jedi, and I'm assuming going into Rise of Skywalker. While I've been talking, you've been watching the trailer beside me. I would love to be able to fully feature the trailers with sound and music, but I'm afraid that I'm going to get a copyright strike. Let me talk to you about the two, probably the only two Star Wars Resistance sets that we'll be getting from LEGO. And why do I say it's probably the only two? Because the final season for Star Wars Resistance, I don't think that LEGO will expend the time to design, produce, and obviously distribute these sets when we'll be having the final season of Clone Wars coming out next year. Mandalorian, we already have one LEGO set coming out for that, but the series will be running. We'll probably get more. The new Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game is coming, and of course we have Rise of Skywalker. With all of the things happening on Disney Plus, as well as things that are going to be happening on the big screen, and of course Lego continues to make sets based on the back catalog of films, and why wouldn't they, then I don't see space for us getting any more Resistance sets. Similar to Star Wars Rebels. For example, I would love for them to remake the Ghost and the Phantom, which was the Corellian ship in that TV series. Corellian ship is similar to Han Solo's Millennium Falcon. Ship is fantastic. The first and only release of the Ghost and the Phantom were fantastic. I'd love to see a release of that again. I don't think we will. I don't think that we'll see sets from Resistance again. So let me show you the two sets that we do have and the minifigures that came from that set. And the fact that all of the minifigures were exclusive as well, which is really cool. Just like for The Mandalorian, we're getting exclusive sets, exclusive minifigures. All right, let me start with the Black Ace Tie Interceptor. Now, this is not your typical TIE fighter, and it certainly is not your typical Lego set. In a way, this really, I have a feeling that at Lucasfilm, when they were coming up with all of the different designs of ships, obviously different prototypes or different versions of ships that end up getting the green light for the film end up being utilized later on. This ship really reminds me in many ways of the TIE Striker that can be found in Rogue One, and there's also some elements of this to Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter from The Last Jedi. But this is the Black Ace's TIE Interceptor, and I think this is a really cool ship. Let me show you the next ship, and then we'll get to the minifigures. And the next ship is right at home here in the Marketing Kitchen. Well, actually, I guess Black Ace's tie could be right at home in the Marketing Kitchen, being white like the kitchen is, but Von Reg's TIE Interceptor, I believe, or TIE Fighter TIE Interceptor is right at home in the Marketing Kitchen. I mean, look at that right here, the perfect color. And speaking of color, by the way, just give me 1 second here. One of my best friends from high school tools on me all the time saying, Ron, why don't you buy something other than that one red shirt that you wear? Well, discerning viewers, which I think is everyone except for that friend of mine, would notice that the shade of these shirts is always different. I have, I think at last count, I have 14 red t-shirts. I love the color red. And why do I wear red? Because the logo for Marketing Kitchen is red and the background is white and the text is white, so it's just called branding. Anyway, so that aside, I don't wear the same red shirt all the time. It's a different shirt. And in fact, this is a brand new shirt that I bought over the summer. And by the way, all of my shirts are from Banana Republic. And I actually, hey Gap, if you'd like to sponsor this channel, you don't even need to, all you need to do is just send me a new supply of clothing because all of my clothes are from Banana Republic. That's where this red shirt is from. And also too, I have a new red watch band for my Apple Watch. Apple, you want to support the channel too? That'd be great. Samsung's been getting free advertising all the time with this refrigerator here. And if you've read any of the comments in my videos, people have actually commented saying that they like my fridge. Okay. Here is my Von Reg's tie, and I just think this is a really stunning design. The color is great. We only saw this, we didn't see this on the big screen. We've only seen this in Star Wars Resistance, as well as the Black Ace. And so these are exclusive. Though, however, if you've watched the Rise of Skywalker trailer, the teaser trailer that came out, you see Rey jumping over this tie. This, I believe, from we weren't certain, but in the sort of second teaser that we received, we saw Kylo Ren coming out of a similar TIE fighter or walking next to one. So we can assume that Kylo Ren is going to have a similar TIE fighter to this model. Perhaps Lego will make one, and I'll be reviewing a set about that next year. All right, let me get to the minifigures real quickly, and then we'll wrap this one up. I don't know what Lego's doing, but we have only received 2 General Leia figures since The Force Awakens has come out. One of them came out in the second wave for The Force Awakens, and the second one is here. This figure is almost identical to the one that came out in the second wave for Force Awakens. It's the same outfit, just the printing is slightly different. We only have really one figure for General Leia, and I don't understand why. There wasn't one from Last Jedi. Hopefully we'll receive one for Rise of Skywalker, but it's really a shame because General Leia obviously is such a pivotal character going back to A New Hope. Another exclusive figure that we have, that Leia is exclusive, however, because of her printing, even though it's quite similar figure to what came out during Force Awakens. Here is Kaz. He is the star, actually, of Star Wars Resistance, and he has a very cool dual molded headpiece right here. So his hair is sort of a blondish brown color with then black at the top. In fact, and he's got a point almost like my hair here, right? So anyway, if I were to make a minifigure of myself, I guess I could utilize this hairpiece. Anyway, this is an exclusive mini with a really cool dual molded exclusive hairpiece. Poe. Here is Poe Dameron, and this also is exclusive. See, he's got the Resistance or Rebellion logo on his flight suit. This coloring is also quite interesting choice by LEGO. This is the same coloring for all of the X-Wing pilots that you will find from A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. However, Poe and all other Resistance fighters from The Last Jedi and from The Force Awakens, their flight suits are a more of a darker burnt orange, if you will. So it's kind of cool to have this exclusive Poe in sort of this flashback or throwback color uniform. Here we have the Black Ace. What I really love about the Black Ace is his helmet, and it has a skull printed on the traditional TIE Fighter helmet. I'm going to have to get myself a second one of the Black Ace, one to store with the good guys, and then one with his helmet on to put in my case with TIE Fighter pilots, because I really like this figure. And his his flight suit, has some of the elements of a traditional TIE Fighter pilot as well, too. The background of the story for this character is that he formerly worked for the Empire and was a TIE Fighter pilot. When Von Reg came out in Star Wars Resistance Season 1, it was the first time we saw a trooper in all red. And I think this was, I'm not certain that anything had been planned yet for the Rise of Skywalker, but this was the first time we were seeing a red TIE Fighter pilot. We had red stripes on TIE Fighter pilots for the elite ones in Force Awakens and Last Jedi. This was the first time we saw a full red trooper. Now, of course, in Rise of Skywalker, there will be the Sith troopers, and they'll be in all red. But he was the first. This is a fantastic figure. I cannot wait to add all of these to the various display cases that I have, which I'll be doing a future video of, and I think you'll enjoy seeing that. The final two figures that we have here this is Bucket. And Bucket is an astromech who is incomplete. And that's why he's wearing a helmet, because he doesn't have the dome like R2-D2 would have protecting his wiring. So I'm going to just take the helmet off here. They have this cool little eyepiece right here. See, it's the astromech, the dual eye that's there, similar to R2-D2, but again without the dome, requires this helmet to protect him. And I like that they added the third leg, which I really implore LEGO to do something with the astromechs. For years now, R2-D2 has virtually remained unchanged. I'd like to see back printing, and I would also like to see a third molded leg added. I don't think it's that difficult to do. It'd be really cool if LEGO would do that for the Rise of Skywalker, which they haven't in the initial run of sets that are coming out. And then the final figure that again is exclusive. And you might, if you look at this at first glance, you'll say, no, that's just a regular BB-8 from Force Awakens and from Last Jedi sets. The answer is no, it's not. the printing on the ball portion of his body is slightly different, and the eye printing as well too. So this is a new print for BB-8. I haven't looked to see if the ones for Rise of Skywalker are different or not. Perhaps he was just different, just like Poe, making him more animated because Star Wars Resistance is an animated show. All right, those are the exclusive minifigures and the 2 sets from Star Wars Resistance. Again, I'm really excited for the TV show that'll be airing on Disney XD starting in October. It is the 2nd and final season. I think the writers have done an excellent job on this show, developing the characters, introducing us to some of the background aspects of the sequel trilogy universe. And you got to remember, watching it, I'm a grown adult and I'm watching a show that's aimed at children. So whenever we're doing that, we need to, take it with a grain of salt and understand who the target audience is. But as a Star Wars fan, I appreciate the content. And it's on Disney XD. I'm assuming that once Disney Plus rolls out, things like Disney XD and all of the other Disney-related properties will find their way on to Disney Plus. Disney Plus is starting, of course, in November. And once all of the contractual obligations, content that licensed out to Netflix or put on Disney XD, or in different markets, like I'm here in Singapore, so we have a lot of Fox property channels as well as Disney-related properties that will slowly be winding down, and the content will be finding its way onto Disney Plus when it's released around the globe. And speaking of Disney Plus, I'm quite excited. I utilized the D23, so D23 is an exclusive Disney club. I utilized my D23 membership to subscribe to Disney Plus for 3 years at a 33% savings. Unfortunately, that promo anyway has expired, but if it hasn't, scour the web. Maybe you can find a code and sign up for something similar. I'm excited. I have my 3-year subscription already. It starts in November, and I'm looking forward not only to watching Resistance Season 2, but also to see Star Wars The Mandalorian by Jon Favreau, who has really knocked it out of the park with his character as Happy, from Iron Man all the way to Spider-Man in the Marvel series. Of course, he was the director of Iron Man, but he also directed Jungle Book. He directed The Lion King, which of course was this year's blockbuster, and a lesser-known film called The Chef. You should check out Jon Favreau's films. All right, but this was supposed to be about Star Wars Resistance, and I'm looking forward to things to come, but not only with Lego, but also with Disney and Disney Plus. I'm going to do a future video about the streaming wars coming up as well too, when we have Netflix against Disney Plus versus Amazon Prime and versus Apple TV. And of course there's CBS All Access, and there's HBO this, and Cinemax this, and you name it, right? Everybody's trying to get in on that. And I'll save that for another video, but I think the reason why we actually have cable subscriptions was the fact that somebody came and bundled all the channels together, and so we could get everything at a lower cost, and now we're dividing it all up, so we'll be getting tons of different content at a higher cost. Doesn't seem to make sense. I'm certain that within 5 years, somebody will be bundling all of them together again, and it'll just be called Cable 2.0. All right, that's it from today in the Marketing Kitchen. The next videos I'm going to be filming are actually going to be live Q&A related to all things marketing content. Thanks again for tuning into the Marketing Kitchen. Please remember to like and subscribe to our channel. Please share it with your friends. The only way we can grow to get to 1,000, then to 10,000, then to wherever, is if you help to support the channel. I don't need your financial support. I just need you to like, comment, and share the videos. So subscribe to the channel to get that started. Truly appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, there's always fresh content simmering on our storytelling stovetop. So whatever happens in this kitchen shouldn't stay in this Marketing Kitchen. I'm Ron Vining, your host, reminding you to invite your family and friends to the next episode of Marketing Kitchen TV.